And actually what happened was when I decided to go off and start a family, I figured, okay, 10 pianists, essentially contacts and colleagues, working at 10% was the same as me playing the piano. And so I started my little piano bar agency, and one of the first things I did was to put pianists on cruise ships, down with P&O Cruises in Southampton. It's a very addictive industry. I think everybody's going to tell you that. And I sort of, I came back into it, I suppose, if you like. So my initial beginning there was to do with the entertainment side of things and supplying the ships with entertainers, piano bar entertainers, essentially. Then I took a breather because, of course, I myself was a piano bar entertainer. And then I ended up in Iceland. And whilst there, I qualified as a tour guide and started to guide cruise passengers. And so if you're an entertainer and then you come on board a motor coach and you've got 49 people there, you know, literally the door closes and that's it, you've got them there for 8 hours. It's a captive audience. So I think this of course, you know, you need the applause as an entertainer. I mean, you know you've got a happy bus of passengers and everybody's having a good time and there's usually a bit of singing and what have you. So it was a natural place for me to go, loving the country that I live in and having this background in entertainment. And then as soon as I really got a taste of the, I don't want to say the glamour of it, but it is a very celebritized industry. You can't help it. You walk on board a ship and these lights, those atriums, it's lights, camera, action, great, and drama. I think it's a very competitive industry and that keeps everybody on their toes, of course. It's, as you say, there's energy, but if you take a ship and all those different things that are happening on it, whether it's entertainment and this how to explore a destination, you've only got a few hours and everybody is, it's a bit like chronic help syndrome when you work on a ship, you know, you really want the best for your passenger and your guest, and whether you're in doing something that you can be creative with, there's loads of creativity on these ships, loads of creative people that work on these ships. And I think the service behind it, as I went back to this chronic help syndrome, we all want to give. We want that applause. We want it. So as a cruise line, if you have a bunch of those people working in your offices and on the ship together, you can't fail. And it attracts these people. I believe it. You know, we're like moths to a flame. Nothing's too mad or bad any longer. And I think it applies to all sides of it. Nothing's too bad or bad, as you say, in the theatres. It's the same ashore. You know, you can go zip line and you're going to do this and you're hanging over the side of a ship with one of these, you know, pods that are doing this. And it's the same in the innovation that goes on there. And it's, how do they keep up with it? I think it's back to that creativity. We always want to do better. I think it's a balance. You do get your passenger who likes the transatlantic. That's, for them, it's life at sea. Interestingly enough, well, my background is shore excursions, so I've just come out of a conference session which I was moderating, and somebody said, she actually said, one of the consumers, she said, in the beginning we used to do every single port. We'd go off, and she said at the end of the cruise I needed a vacation. I was so tired of getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you know, wanting to experience everything ashore. I was frightened of missing something, so I never got time to enjoy the ship. I'm about to step on a Caribbean cruise. I've got 2 days at sea to start me off. Bliss. I come down to earth, I can enjoy, explore the ship, get to know where I am a bit, then I'm ready to get off and explore a destination. So I've got probably 3 days of port intense, then I've got another couple of days at sea. So it's that balance, and I think passengers, they find their own line, they find their own itinerary to suit them. It was an interesting one, I think quite groundbreaking, even if I dare say it. Not that I came up with this subject line, but it was all about what goes on in the consumer's mind, what drives them to purchase a shore excursion, and what do they expect from it, and how can we as an industry improve? You know, are we getting it right, kind of thing. So it was the first time that we've ever had consumers on a panel, which could have gone both ways. Which could have gone both ways, but didn't. I was really surprised at the interaction from the room, how both the cruise line executives, there were several in there that I spotted from several lines, also there were tour operators in there asking questions. They were not interested in us, the professional panel, if you like, but they really wanted to talk to the consumer. So I hope that they bring that back, because we were even told the session was too short. Could we have not gone on for longer? Yes, I spotted the Holland America Line Princess group in there, Senior Director of Shore Excursions. Can I name drop? Oh, Ellen Lynch, and she asked questions. She was one of which was to the consumer panel. Do you actually take notice and go to the seminars on board the ships? The port talks, and yes. Do you research your shore excursions? Yes, but I do it on, I go on YouTube or I go on social media. But certainly it was interesting. We had a panel with a single mum with 3 kids. We had a dad there with his family who was travelling with a 4-year-old, a couple, and so they gave scope for them to ask all these different questions. Mary Shaw was in there from Silversea Cruises, Helen Panagos from Crystal Cruises. Probably from about 2007 I've been attending Sea Trade Global. Oh, come on, look at it. Like you say, the buzz, the energy, and you learn things. It isn't just about having an adult beverage there on the trade floor at a cocktail hour. But yes, it is nice to have a drink and relax amongst your friends. And the one thing that pulls us together here is the passion for this industry that you see amongst your colleagues and your friends. There is not another, and how glamorized and celebritized it is. What I found so nice is the welcome that I received. Of course, when I started, I was a tour operator in shore excursions, standing on a stand and hoping that somebody would stop and have a meeting with me, or could I have a business card? So but how welcoming they were, and especially if you've got some creativity or an idea, everybody listens. Everybody gives you time. Yes, it's limited. You might only get 5 minutes. So make sure that your 5 minutes that you make an impression. But you've got to believe in your product. And as long as you've got a good product and you're creative and it's tangible, people know. So for me, it was probably going from that, can I exchange a business card, to saying, why not join us for dinner? And they say yes to that. And then it's, before you know it, you're sitting there having drinks, and it's this, I don't want to say the hierarchy of it all, but like I'm saying, the welcome and openness from the top level down to those that, me. I was the tour guide, counting heads and tickets. That's where it was, with my captive audience.